Welcome to Celestial Insights, a weekly podcast that brings the stars down to earth. I'm your host, astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks. My purpose is to provide practical, unique, and insightful guidance to help you navigate the energies of the week like a boss. Hello, this is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, and on this episode, I will discuss the astrology for the week of December 10th, 2023. There is still time to join today's Sagittarius New Moon Workshop at noon Pacific time. If you can't make it live, you'll receive the recording. You can also just purchase the recording if you're not hearing this in time. The benefit of coming live is that I do hot take natal chart readings for participants. I'll do as many as I can. You can register to join at the link in the show notes or go to my website, astrologybyceleste.com. I'm also speaking for OPA next Sunday. OPA is the Organization of Professional Astrology. I'm on a panel with incredible astrologers, Wendy Stacy and Lee Lehman, talking about the astrology of 2024. So I'm so excited about this. So you can also go to the show notes or my website on the workshop page to register for that talk to find out more about what's coming up in 2024. First, some astrology in action. So last week on December 3rd, Venus in Libra squared Pluto in Capricorn. And there were a couple stories in the news that reflected this transit. Number one, there was on the nose a volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Pluto rules volcanoes, and it killed a bunch of hikers. And also we saw images of people with lava and ash on their face. Their faces were burned and they're disfigured. Venus rules beauty, and square Pluto being disfigured by this volcanic eruption. Also, when Venus hit the South Node on the 30th, there was a story about how Israel had intelligence a year before the October 7th attack, and the military ignored it, thought it was aspirational. Yeah, so Venus conjunct the South Node. The South Node, a cosmic journey. Israel is a Libra rising, so Venus rules their chart. And like getting this intelligence, ignoring it, and regretting it because then this attack happened. There was also, and then also came out and was discussed more over the weekend as Venus moved to square Pluto, and like Pluto unearths things as well, that one of the military people who was trying to press action around, and even saw Hamas jumping around with paragliders and things like that. But this woman was ignored. So there's also been talk of, was it part of the reason this intelligence was ignored was because of it was coming from a woman? So there's some accusations of potentially sexism as well. Last week's episode was called Dangerous Liaisons because after Venus squared Pluto, she went into her sign of detriment, Scorpio, and then moved towards Saturn in Pisces. So there was a trine, and we found out these two anchors from Good Morning America. I don't even remember their names. TJ somebody and Amy somebody had an affair, and it was divorced, or their spouses. Well, we found out that their spouses got together and they're dating now. So the agreed parties, Venus and Scorpio, the betrayed partners, trine Saturn and Pisces, are coming together in their grief. Like Saturn, like this sadness, feeling separation, in Pisces. Yeah. Coming together in their grief to nurture each other. So that's the astrology in action. The theme of this week is check the fine print. And there are three big things I want you to think about as you navigate this week. The first is that now Venus in Scorpio is sextile Mercury in Capricorn on Monday. And this is the second sextile between Venus and Mercury recently. Last month, we had Venus in her home sign of Libra sextiling Mercury in its sign of its detriment in Sagittarius. And there were all the negotiations and the hard work eventually led to success of releasing a big chunk of the hostages from Gaza in exchange for people let out of detention, Palestinians let out of detention in Israel and jail, as well as more aid going into Gaza. And that was a sextile in air and fire. And air and fire sextiles can be when opportunities come to you from others or drop into your lap. Qatar was the country that was doing a lot of the negotiations to help with releasing the hostages. Well, now they're in earth and water signs. And this is happening at 8 degrees of each sign. So 8 degrees of Scorpio is where Venus will be, and 8 degrees of Capricorn is where Mercury will be. Mercury likes to articulate and communicate. Venus likes to unite. But Venus is in her detriment. Yeah, and Mercury's on this fixed star Phosphis, which has really difficult imagery. And Mercury's getting ready to go retrograde. And this is the reason why I said Venus first. Usually you say the faster moving planet first. And Mercury typically moves faster than Venus, but it's coming to station to go retrograde. So Mercury is barely moving in the sky. So people may be making deals and they think they've got this great deal going, but Venus in her sign of detriment, where she may act in extreme ways. So maybe the Venus person in the negotiation gives too much away to the Mercury person, and then comes to regret it later and the deal falls through, because with retrogrades there can be reversals. So that's why it's called read the fine print, because things agreed to with this sextile may not hold. So just keep that in mind. If you're negotiating like something with a house sale or something like that, be aware that something may fall through. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Venus is also conjunct Pallas Athene, the asteroid of strategy. They're both in Scorpio. So that can also be about people coming together, like planning and plotting something treacherous. So yeah, that's another thing I kind of see with this sextile, that people are planning things that are not good. But in our own lives, when there's sextiles in earth and water, we can make our own magic. So stay open for opportunities, read the fine print, be aware there may be some twists and turns or even the collapse of whatever you contemplated, but sextiles are nice aspects in general. The next thing I want to make you aware of is that there's a new moon at 20 degrees of Sagittarius on Tuesday. I love Sagittarius. It's a mutable fire sign. It's expansive and it's oriented toward growth and optimism. Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius. Yeah, and Jupiter right now is in Taurus, an earth sign. So you can think about, thinking about how you want to manifest. Now, because Mercury is getting ready to go retrograde, I would use this moon cycle to review the past and correct things or make things better or optimize things that you've already been working on, rather than starting new things, because people are going to be planning things for the new year around this time, and they're going to have challenges because of Mercury retrograde. They're going to miss something in the planning, or things like that could be happening with this. The tarot card for the new moon, where the sun and the moon are both at 20 degrees of Sagittarius, is the 10 of Wands. And I see this card as it's someone like walking in traditionally in the Rider-Waite Tarot, holding like 10 to the 10 wands on their shoulder and kind of weighed down. And so when I get this card, it's like my put your burdens down card. It's telling me you're doing too much. You need to slow down, because it's a card of exhaustion. Like you've been working so hard, you're just exhausted. And the astrology correspondence is Saturn, the planet of duty and hard work, in Sagittarius. Yeah, so you can think about that. The Sabian symbol is a child and a dog wearing borrowed eyeglasses. So this could be about having silly and fun play and fantasy. How can you bring more fun into your life during this Sagittarius season? It can also be like pretending to be smarter than you are. It made me think of this Sabian symbol, made me think of Rick Perry when he was wearing glasses back in 2015 during a debate, and like Donald Trump made fun of him, saying he was trying to look smart. This guy was the governor of Texas, and he has said a lot of gaffes, so he's not thought of as being a very smart person in general. So it was a big laugh a lot of people had at his expense from that joke with Donald Trump. Yeah. So that makes me think of that. It can also be taking on adult responsibilities. In the collective, we're hearing a lot about a dog virus that's affecting dogs, and they're having respiratory issues, and it's something new we haven't seen before. Some are even dying. And there's also an outbreaks of pneumonia in children. So this makes me think about both of those things. There's something called in Warren County, Ohio, it's called white lung. And they're seeing a lot of pediatric cases of pneumonia and things that are unusual. And there's been videos shown about how in China, emergency rooms have been filling up again, and they haven't really let other countries know about what's going on. So yeah, this makes me think there may be more to those two stories. Also in Denmark, I was reading there's increases in cases in walking pneumonia. So whatever you can do to improve your respiratory health, either getting enough sleep, not smoking, taking your vitamins, that sort of thing, if you're getting whatever treatments you need, keep that in mind. There may be something about lung issues. And with the glasses thing, it makes me think about, there are all these eye drops that are problematic. So dozens of them have been contaminated and recalled. Yeah, so it would be really interesting to see how this shows up, but that's what comes to mind for me. The main aspect of this new moon is that it is a square Neptune in Pisces. So the new moon at 20 Sagittarius is squaring Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is a planet of illusions and delusions and fantasy. Really be careful with anything about and deception. I think there might be some big stories during this moon cycle about cyber crimes and things like that. Yeah, cyber attacks, identity theft, that sort of thing, especially with Mercury going retrograde at the same time. Yeah. And as well as there's been some conflict. The day Venus squared Pluto, I forgot to mention that. These Houthis, I think they're called, in Yemen, these rebels attacked several ships in the waters over in the Red Sea. What do you call those things? Those container ships taking commercial cargo ships. And they said that anyone who supports Israel was like up for attack. So that's the Venus. Any allies of Israel, they are trying to do stuff to cause problems for commerce. And as well, there was something involving a U.S. warship. So, oh my goodness. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more conflict on the seas during this new moon cycle. The last thing I want to make you aware of is that Mercury is going to go station to go retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn on Tuesday, just a couple hours after the new moon. Retrogrades bring delays, reversals, and potentially even the collapse of anything contemplated. So it is really a time to not start new things, but to work on things you've already initiated in terms of making them better. You can do all the RE words: review, revisit, relax, revise, rethink. This is when our ghosts come back. You'll start running. I've already started running into people I haven't seen for quite a while. Yeah. And your ex may slide into your DMs, things like that. For travel, if you're traveling during this time, really think about, double checking all of your reservations. Don't assume everything's fine. Yeah, think about that. Getting to the airport early if you're flying anywhere is a good idea. Any issues with your car, get it fixed right away. This can be when we have problems with our cars or electronics or things like that. It's stationing at 8 Capricorn. So if you have anything at 8 Capricorn, especially, but at 8 of any of the cardinal signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, there may be a story related to this for you, and it's going to back it up to 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So if you have anything around 22 degrees of the mutable signs, and I would just say either that degree or one on either side, there may also be a story. The mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Yeah, so you may have a story related to mercurial things, and whatever planet or point it's stationing on and the house in your chart. So maybe look at your chart and see if you can think of like something that could be coming up. Yeah. Now, I'm a little concerned about this retrograde. This could be pretty nasty in some ways because 8 degrees of Capricorn is the degree of the fixed star Phasces. And this star has one of the most violent imageries in the heavens. It's the penetrating eye of the archer. It's like an onslaught of arrows. It has a very violent nature to it. So there's going to be some stories in the news that are a little concerning. It's also a star of blindness. So I do horary, which is a technique, or poor eyesight. It's a technique where you ask me a question and then I cast a chart and the chart answers the question. It can also say, it gives information about what happened most recently, what's likely to happen next. It's a really cool technique. So anyway, a blindness. If someone is represented on that Phasces star, sometimes like they'll wear glasses or have defective eyesight or things like that. Yeah, it's also can be associated. Terry Naxon is a astrologer who says it's associated with earthquakes as well. Yeah, it's an unfortunate star. What we can use it for is to be really focused on something. So we can use it to be focused. There may be more news about these eye drops. And P. Diddy has his Palace Athene on this 8 degrees of Capricorn. So he may be having someone, like more stories coming up about how he was violent with women and brutal, all of that stuff. I talked about that a couple of episodes ago. This was also in on January 18th, Mercury stationed to go direct on this degree. And I looked up some stories in the news, and it was the Pentagon sent U.S. arms stored in Israel to Ukraine. So there may be this may have something to do about twists and turns about financing these wars. Yeah. That Venus and Scorpio sextile, this Mercury and Capricorn about the administration trying to figure out how they can keep funding Ukraine. because the Democratic administration wants to fund Ukraine and the Republicans don't. So we'll see what the story is. I'll let you know. Mercury is going to go back into Sagittarius on December 22nd. So that's a day to be mindful. There could be to be extra mindful. That there could be twists and turns and reversals and things like that. And then it stations to go direct on January 1st at 22 degrees of Sag, but it's squaring Saturn. If you are traveling, Venus goes into Sagittarius on December 29th and then moves to square Saturn. Saturn delays, Saturn restricts, Saturn's boundaries. So Sagittarius, long distance travel. Venus, you're off on vacation, and square Saturn, you're having problems getting home. So just be mindful. It may be about storms and things like that there could be travel delays. So take extra medications or make sure you have enough money if you're traveling. On Sunday, the word of the day is compromise. We start the week with the moon in Scorpio. The moon doesn't like to be here. It's the sign of her fall. Scorpio is fixed water, so really holding on to emotions, and it's a Mars-ruled sign. But it can be very passionate, very sexy. So think about being strategic. Venus and Mercury are in sextile. So yeah, compromise, give and take. Think about that, especially with your lover. On Monday, the word of the day is beware. The moon enters Sagittarius at 3:10 a.m. Pacific time. I love a Sagittarius moon. It's feisty, fiery, fun, expansive, optimistic, looking forward to broadening one's vision. Yeah. This is the day that Venus and Mercury are in sextile. Venus makes the sextile because it's moving faster than Mercury. Mercury's barely moving. And so there's the opportunity for magic to happen, to make a deal or something like that. But also the sun in Sagittarius is quincunx Uranus in Taurus. Quincunxes are aspects that move us into new situations. We have to release and let go of things. The sun in Sagittarius could be something about a leader or a celebrity. It could be, or a religious figure. Like I'm watching the Pope. I'm concerned that, he's got some lung issues and, lung inflammation. Yeah. Quincunx Uranus, a sudden event around something. Yeah, this could be like an earthquake or something like that, with the fasces being activated on this day. Yeah, so if you start to shake, rattle, and roll, get under your desk. This could also be, like I said, people coming together, trying to do something. People having an affair and getting caught later during the retrograde could be coming up with this. Venus and Scorpio, a dangerous liaison. On Tuesday, the word of the day is retrospective. This is the day of the new moon at 20 degrees of Sagittarius at 3:32 p.m. Pacific time. This is also the day Mercury stations to go retrograde at 8 Capricorn. Retrogrades are an optical illusion. It'll look like it backs it up to 22 degrees of Sagittarius on January 1st. So just be mindful that the big block of time to be extra triple check emails. And yeah, there's going to be news, Capricornian news about big businesses, governments, things like that. Could be things about structures, Capricorn. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Venus is semi-square Neptune. So maybe there'll be these people who like to throw, paint on art or things like that. There may be stories about that. Venus in Scorpio, you can think about big wealth, semi-sesqui-square Neptune going up in smoke in some ways. Yeah, we'll see. But I love Sagittarius energy. It can be a little overindulgent. So yeah, keep in mind, it's the holiday season. Overindulgence is on the menu. On Wednesday, the word of the day is divisive. This is a day that Venus is conjunct Pallas Athene in Scorpio. They meet at 10 degrees of Scorpio. Now, you can use this for strategic planning. Pallas Athene is the asteroid of strategy. For building wealth, Scorpio is a sign associated with wealth and banking and all of that stuff. But I think people are coming together for criminal enterprise as well. I guess they do that every day. So yeah, it's nothing new. But I think it might have something to do about the election because there's going to be a new moon at 9 Scorpio right before the 2024 presidential election. And, people are already planning stuff around this. And Mars in Sagittarius is semi-square Pluto in Capricorn. So Mars is semi-square Pluto. Yeah. Taking action to do something, or this could be about like surveillance, or just this could be recklessness or like some violent things. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be stories potentially that maybe started around this time but aren't found out till later. Anyway, the moon enters the sign of Capricorn at 7:31 a.m. Pacific time. This can be a great energy for planning and strategy. Hopefully your planning and strategy is about good things rather than something related to subterfuge. I'm sure all my listeners are up to nothing but good. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. It's about manifesting in the real world, having the strategy, doing something of use, planning effectively in order to manifest your goals. So you can think about getting a lot of work done on the next couple of days. On Thursday, the word of the day is growth. The sun in Sagittarius will trine the north node in Aries. They're both at 22 degrees. Yeah, so think about how you want to grow. The sun puts a spotlight on things. It focuses our attention. And with the moon in Capricorn, this is great manifesting energy. Just be mindful, Mercury's retrograde. Yeah. But, thinking about growing, but you may learn from the past about how to move forward. On Friday, the word of the day is careful. The moon enters the fixed air sign of Aquarius at 9:55 a.m. Pacific time. This is a great time to take a step back and view things from a detached perspective. Think about your vision and how you want to move forward. Yeah, Aquarius moons are great for getting the emotion out of things. Now, Mars in Sagittarius is going to trine Chiron in Aries. They're both at 15 degrees. Yeah, be careful about getting ill. This, like Mars can be fevers, inflammation, things like that. This could be news about something about the Pope having a fever or something like that. Chiron is the wounded healer. Be very careful with fire. This could be, someone lights a candle, doesn't blow it out before they go to bed. Somehow it gets knocked over and starts a fire or something like that. So just be mindful around fire or burning yourself or sharp knives. Be careful cutting things. On Saturday, the word of the day is compassion. There's a waxing crescent moon at 9 Aquarius at 1:08 p.m. Pacific time. The crescent moon is that sliver of light and it's waxing, it's growing. So you may get great ideas or see the light of how you want to move forward with your intentions. This is the day the sun in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces, both at 24 degrees. Yeah, this could also be someone's overindulging, leaves candles burning, like passes out, and then, boom, there's a fire or something like that. This could be news about the Pope. His sun is at 25 degrees of Sagittarius. So the sun, it's getting ready to have his birthday. And Sagittarius is associated with a religion. There could also be news about drummers or sports heroes or things like that. Yeah, with Sagittarius energy. But can you keep moving forward, even though the vision seems like it may be unattainable or hard to get to. Yeah, keep the faith, have belief is what I think about this. Yeah, and as well as Neptune, and Pisces, have compassion for others, especially if they disappoint you. So that's it for this week's episode. Feel free to email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com with any astrology in action stories about what went on for you this week, or let me know how the daily themes are playing out for you. Come book a reading if you want to dive deeper into your own chart or discuss a situation you're dealing with. Take care, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening to Celestial Insights. To learn more about my work, please visit my website, astrologybyceleste.com, where I offer personal readings, horary consultations, cosmic coaching, group events, and classes to help guide people to higher levels of fulfillment. You can also find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook at Astrology by Celeste. If you enjoyed Celestial Insights, please help others find the show. Follow, rate it 5 stars, or write a nice review. I would so appreciate it. I'm astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks, and I'll be back next week.